engaging. Like, on these towers, honestly, Ozone has an advantage, but they're so afraid of an engagement that they're just trying to keep the lanes pushed out and trying to keep SKT from snowballing an advantage, but trying and trying is not going to do it. Not against SKT. So SKT now, they actually have vision control here. They've been spending quite a bit of time establishing vision control in this jungle. I think they still probably would want a ward here. But the point is, they can already zone Ozone off of the Baron. That ward becomes relevant because actually, you know, now that I think about it, this ward is probably because they have this mid tower down. They know that they have an advantage, but they also know that this mid tower is down. So for the first time in this series, Ozone can actually access the Baron through the mid lane. So they're warding it. And look, they're actually doing Baron right now. I think they back away from it and fight. But the point is, at 20 minutes, they're controlling the Baron yet again. So they force Looper to run. They kill him. This is actually a really good flash by Dandy just to turn around one kill. Because, you know, if you're SKT and your jungler's down, you have no smite. And that's kind of a big deal at Baron. But they got 2 kills for 1. And this ward was a big part of it. And the wards that they had that just expired here were also a pretty big part of it. And Faker's like taking red. He doesn't even care what's going on. Like, that's SKT's mindset right now. They don't even care about particularly grouping at this Baron. They know that they have a big lead over Ozone, and they're like, you know, they're dividing and conquering there. They're taking this pressure on this side of the map and saying, oh, I know you won't be at red. I'm going to take it. And then he does kind of a silly face check and immediately loses the red. Don't really know why he would do that. But let's move forward. Oh, hey guys, the dragon is spawning again. And guess who has vision control? Look at those sweepers. Sweepers are really good. They clear out all of Ozone's vision in the zone around dragon. And they put a pink ward on dragon. They can see Ozone right now. The good smite by Dandy. This was actually a little bit hasty by SKT. If you notice, they don't have as much of ward coverage around here. I think perhaps that was because Ozone cleared it out. I would have to go back and check. In fact, let's do that. So actually, yeah, this pink ward is a really big deal for Ozone right now. This pink ward is a really big deal for Ozone right now because it allows them to take the dragon. He actually gets that ward with his passive. But like, for once, Ozone has decent amount of vision at dragon. They don't have vision of dragon, but they have enough vision, and they've denied enough vision that, you know, SKT, who's trying to rush this dragon down, can't actually do it successfully. Bengi probably should have turned and smited that dragon. It was obviously within smite range, but he didn't. But okay, still, like, look at this team fight. Even though SKT doesn't have vision control, even though they lose the dragon, they spread out. Dade doesn't get a good ultimate. Mata doesn't get a good ultimate. And they just take down the members of Ozone one by one. And I think they may have even rotated and taken Baron here. I mean, because, like, honestly, what is Ozone going to do about a Baron right now? Like, even though they don't have, like, great vision control here, what actually is Ozone going to do about Baron? They have... This is a good ward. Let me talk specifically about this ward. This ward is great because, except for a pink ward inside the pit, which is actually something that you'll see pretty often now, this ward is hard to spot. You're not going to sweep that side. It's kind of inside the wall, so it can even be hard to spot sometimes. So these wards are good, like, on the edges of the pit, because a pink ward outside the pit or a sweeper outside the pit won't catch them. But, I mean, right now, they don't care that Ozone has vision, because, I mean, they can use this to their advantage. Dade trying to get behind, trying to get this steal. They actually, watch, they stop doing the Baron because they know Dade can do the steal. This was probably, like, the dumbest play that SKT did this game, because they really have no vision control at all. and the risk was extremely high. But they stopped the Baron, waited for that barrel to explode, and then they take it. And I think they even got kills for it. Pretty sure they got kills for it. No. But, I mean, they got the Baron for what? I mean, they traded the Dragon, but they got 2 kills and the Baron just off of a team fight. A team fight that they played very well. And they didn't do a great job of vision control in that scenario. That was a little bit, I think, overconfident by SKT. But, I mean, it worked out, so you can't exactly complain about it. It worked out for them, for sure. Actually, this is something that Monte Cristo mentioned in the game. Because that fight just happened, Dade's explosive cask was down. Dade probably actually could have stolen that, but his cask was down. So they used that little timing window. But I mean, at this point, okay, SKT has the Baron. Let's skip forward about a minute. SKT is aggressively pushing down the... Like, SKT... I have a little bit of a complaint here, because SKT is getting sloppy on the vision game. They are, you know, obviously they just got 4 kills for nothing, but they are obviously ahead, but they're not being as meticulous about their vision control, and it may be because they were afraid of Ozone's late game. But I mean, 4 kills, they're just going to push this down. They get this inhibitor, and this is actually where it kind of goes wrong for them. It has nothing to do with the vision control that they have. It's just Bengi, okay, a little bit overextended there. SKT says, yeah, we have Baron, let's turn around and try to fight them. And for the first time in the game, Dade gets a really good explosive cask. He just did it a second ago. Let me go back and show you. Alright. So they're all, like, pretty grouped up here, right? Explosive cask hits 3. That explosive cask hit 3. That's the first time explosive cask has hit more than 2 members of SKT. That may have even been the first time it hit more than 1. So SKT grouping up to try and counter-engage this. They're getting pretty sloppy at this point, and it causes them to actually get completely aced. So Faker goes down, Impact trying to get into the backline, trying to do some damage, doing a pretty good job of it, but he gets jumped on by the Leona. Eventually, Ozone, with some pretty good kiting from Imp, managed to turn it around. And actually, if you saw Piglet's flash there, it was pretty bad. So let's watch Piglet for a second. Piglet's so greedy. Why did he need to flash there? There was no reason. He would still, like, have HP here. They actually probably could have won the fight if Piglet didn't flash like that. But good team fight for Ozone. They lose their inhibitor, but they get Baron off of every member of SKT, and good jukes from Puma and Do, but not good enough. So forward a minute. SKT's like, oh, well, that kind of sucked. Maybe we should start to establish more vision control and, like, play this, you know, smart. I mean, obviously it had nothing to do with the vision that caused them to lose that fight, but still they should. They're realizing this game is not a freebie for them. So they're going to push down that bottom lane. If you notice, SKT specifically, and a lot of professional teams, but SKT, they never push down the top lane in the final push to end the game. Like, when they have this middle inhibitor down, which is pretty much always the first inhibitor you get down, they always go to the bottom lane first, because you want to get the extra map control from having the inhibitor on the opposite side of Baron downed. So Looper, taking advantage of the fact that he has teleport, you know, he's actually making progress on the map. I feel like it's too late. It's really too late, but for the first time in the game, Ozone's making a good decision about how to put pressure on the map. But it's too late. So, I mean, SKT has all this vision control in the jungle. And, like, they're just stalling. They're stalling for these super minions. They don't particularly care. Because, look, now Imp has to deal with this. Now they can go for the tower. And Looper has to teleport in. So, I mean, they're trying to get Impact, who's separated away from the team. Bengi gets a good stun. And now Faker over the wall. He's just taking Dragon the whole time. Dragon doesn't even matter at this point. Like, everyone's level 18. Everyone has as much gold as they're going to get. And, you know, pretty good fight by Ozone. Because, again, SKT is getting sloppy. I feel like at this point they're not even trying. I feel like at this point they're just kind of dicking around. So Piglet barely lives through that. Like, that was crazy close. And again, Ozone defends because SKT is being a little sloppy. But what you'll notice, look at all the cooldowns they forced. They forced the teleport. They forced the explosive cask. They forced the what's it called? Solar flare. Just so that Ozone could push them back. They didn't get any kills. And I mean, as far as playing the game methodically and taking out your opponent slowly and carefully, which is often the best way to do it, they're doing it very well. And it's weird, like Ozone all just leaves their tower as if SKT just was all recalling, and then I'm pretty sure Faker gets a lot of damage on the tower. Okay, tower damage is good. Like imagine it this way. You know, every hit on the tower is like every minion that you last hit. It's a little more gold that you have in your pocket to help you win the game. Whereas one hit on the tower is just a little bit closer you are to killing that tower later. You don't have to kill the tower right now. Like, a lot of people won't even bother to hit a tower unless they can kill it. But that's really not a good way to think about it. Tower damage is a valuable resource. And tower HP is a valuable resource. So for all these outer towers that don't regenerate, you know, this little bit of damage that Faker gets, maybe it matters in the end. Maybe it doesn't, but maybe it does. So, SKT. Let's go back because there's a Baron fight happening. So SKT are grouping up at the Baron. Ozone realized that Baron is the objective at hand right now because it's spawning in 15 seconds. They actually do a surprisingly good job of getting there on blue. Excuse me, oh my gosh. And Ozone doing that thing where you just drop multiple wards down and they can't clear all of them. They do eventually clear them. And SKT is starting to establish vision control. SKT always puts the same wards down when they're going for Baron. They put this ward down here to see the rotation through the jungle. They put this ward down here to see the rotation through the jungle. And they put, if the mid tower is down, they put this ward here. And that's enough vision control for them to do Baron. So Faker Flash. This is another fight where Gragas just does not get a cask. He gets a cask, I think it hits like 2, but it hits tanky members, so it doesn't do a whole lot. So Faker and Bengi in the backline doing work, and at this point their gold lead wins that team fight for them. You know, it wasn't even a bad fight for Ozone, it's just it wasn't a perfect fight, which is what they needed to beat SKT here. So SKT gonna shove down the mid lane, get the inhibitor again. And now they're just like, I'm going to end the game. Like, interestingly, Pumandu's ultimate is still up, so he can, like, tank the tower. Bengi's zoning Dade out, so Dade can't do anything like clear the waves or anything. He even gets the kill. And now the only line of defense that they have is Looper and Mata. The only line of defense that they have is Looper. The only line of defense that they have is nothing, and the game ends. So, I mean, 3 wards and SKT baits Baron, or does Baron, but that's the story of how SKT wins every game ever. And I really hope that you learned something